I can't get hurt again. I can't have more broken promises again. That just has worn away at my trust.
Give me 4 examples of how you're not stepping up.
There can be a deeper connection than ever that can come.
I can't change Erin, and she can't change me.
Sad, painful, hurt, angry, but underneath it all, it's just like sad and hurt.
The first place to check is the trust and safety area.
Yeah. Whatever the thing is, own it, acknowledge it, talk about it, communicate about it.
That's literally the worst case scenario is you end up being a better person.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the TPM Show. I'm your host, Doug Holt, and once again, joined by my beautiful wife, Erin Holt. Thanks for being here.
Hey, babe. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have a little bit more time that we could jump into something here. Something that comes up often, and I'm going to set the scene, and I have my perspective, and I'm sure you do, and I think they're probably going to align. A lot of the men are complaining or complain that their woman seems to be withdrawn. She seems to pull back, almost like she's not interested or doesn't care if he's in the house or not, or if he exists or not. Let's talk about that.
That's a hard place to be. We've been there before.
Yep.
From both sides, and that just hurts. So first of all, I'm sorry. That hurts. It hurts to hurt inside a relationship with somebody that you love so much. Oh, so many things that can happen, but I actually just talked about this a little bit on the Brotherhood call I just did, but let's just say it's coming from the place of you, the man, have started doing more work, whether it's with TPM or whoever, and you're changing and following through on the things that you might have been promising for years, decades, whatever it is. What can happen because she feels unsafe and isn't trusting that this is actually, are you actually going to follow through? Is this going to be another 3-week thing where you're like, oh, I promise I'm going to work out and take care of my body, and then it's 3 weeks later and you don't, is that she will actually push you away because she's had hope so many times of broken promises. I'm not just saying it's just the men that do this, but this is from a woman's perspective of why she's doing this. Broken promises of you promising you're going to, stop drinking so much, or that's a really big one I hear, or you're going to start taking care of yourself, or you're, whatever the thing is, fill in the blank. And you haven't followed through on it many, many, many times. And so what she has had so much hope and so much hurt that she's almost just going to push you away while you're doing this next process that you're doing of growth and, upgrading yourself, and test it in a way because she's like, I can't get hurt again. I can't have more broken promises again. That just has worn away at my trust so much over the years. So she will seem maybe colder and more distant and withdrawn in the beginning as you're growing. And I promise you, if you can, lack a better word, prove yourself that she can trust you, that you're going to follow through on the things that you're saying. So, which means you're in integrity and actually do the thing that you've been saying. If you can keep going and show her and talk to her about it, she will soften. And then what can happen is she sees you in the light that she's honestly seen you in years. That's why she's still there. She knows the core of you. Even if you haven't been operating from that place, she has seen it and felt it and sees the best in you underneath all of your BS things that you've been doing. There can be a deeper connection than ever that can come.
Something interesting happened at the Inner Circle event last week. So for those that don't know, I always like to explain because the Inner Circle is after people go through the activation method or the Ascension Blueprint, 2 of our flagship programs coming into TPM. You could have the opportunity of joining either the Brotherhood or the Inner Circle. It's invitation only. The Inner Circle are men who usually have higher net worths, bigger businesses. They're playing a bigger game, or they're investing in a bigger game. That's a nicer way of saying it. So it's a 1-year program. And we did 2 days in wine country with these guys. We're at this amazing winery. The first winery in the U.S., actually.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I didn't know till we got there. And so we're sitting, if you can imagine, a boardroom type setting at this winery. And what happens is we do hot seats. So each guy gets 45 minutes, and some turn into 2 hours, where they bring their biggest topic. And this topic came up in a way. And it was a little bit different. And so I won't give this guy's information away. But he was asked, like, basically he was saying, hey, my wife's like this. She's always withdrawn. She's just focused on herself. She doesn't care about the relationship. Things are horrible right now in his world. And so he was asked, hey, weren't they good like 6 months ago or so, or a year ago? Because he turned the whole marriage around. He said, yeah, they were. And another guy said, give me 4 examples of how you're not stepping up, 4 examples of how you're not showing up for her. And to this man's credit, he listed off 4 ways that he was no longer showing up when he was 6 months ago or what have you. It's a classic, things are good now. I'll let down my guard. I'll go back to old habits. And what was interesting is in the 4 ways he wasn't showing up, I believe if he flipped those things around, that is his roadmap to getting his wife back, right? And to your point, he was doing all the right things, if you will, and he was doing them naturally. It wasn't like he was pretending, but he has 40 years or so of patterning of another direction. It's easy to slip back if you're not watching yourself. And so I would imagine, you tell me if I'm wrong, I would imagine from his wife's perspective, oh my gosh, he's finally here. She falls back in love with him again, opens her heart up. And then all of a sudden he starts to switch directions back to the old version of him. And that's got to be really painful. It's got to be scary, I would imagine, from a woman's point of view.
Super scary. Sad, painful, hurt, angry, but underneath it all, it's just like sad and hurt. Yeah.
And so that shows up as her just withdrawing and turning back into herself, protecting herself. Talk a little bit more about that.
Look, I know this goes both ways, but talking about what happens inside of women, if we don't feel safe, we come across to you as closed off, like kind of like tightened up, like hardened up, like not like you can't access us, right?
We're not talking physically safe. We're talking emotionally
safe.
Yeah,
Yes.
just want to make sure for
emotionally safe. Yes.
Guys listening.
And honestly, it creates a lot of tension in our body, and it's exhausting to live like that, where we have an experience where we feel like we're not safe with you. And ways that we don't feel safe are many, but yes, if like Doug just said, if like you are falling back to old ways that, didn't feed our relationship and didn't feel good as your partner, like that's going to cause us to not feel safe and close down and turn away from you. I'm not saying like that's the best thing to do, and that's just what happens. Big thing is with integrity. If you are not your word, if you're like one person at work and then one person at home, or people are like, oh my gosh, he's so kind and nice, but at home you're prickly and mean and short, and that's not our experience of you. It's like, wow, you're not in integrity. You're somebody else entirely different when you walk through this door. That will lead us definitely not feeling safe. Or on that note, if you're like moody a lot and you're not responsible for managing your own inner world and energy, if like one day you're like super happy and fun and playing with us and playing with the kids, and the next day you're like super mean and short, and then the next day you're like, just totally checked out, and like when you're all over the place, like that feels so unsafe and unpredictable for us. Like we can't rely on you. We don't know who we're going to get. So we have to protect ourselves from you. Those are pretty big examples.
Those are great examples. Yeah. So I think most men don't get this concept until probably halfway through the activation method.
Yeah.
Where they see that. Byron Katie does the thing she calls the work.
Yes.
I like her formula, and I'm going to butcher it probably right now because I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done it in years. But it's basically take your complaint that you have about somebody. So in this case, my wife is withdrawn. Right. And then you ask the question, is that undeniably true? Is she always withdrawn? Well, no. With my daughter, she isn't, or what have you. Okay. So then you move on to step 3, which is turn it around.
Yep.
Right. You write the sentence, I'm withdrawn. Okay. And then you give 5 examples of how you're withdrawn and 5 examples on how your wife is not withdrawn. And all of a sudden, in my experience, 100% of the time, doing this by myself and in a coaching capacity over the last 20 years or so, doing it with somebody else, 100% of the time you go, oh, crap.
Look at my role in this.
Look at my role in this. And for me, at least, to be in integrity, I can't bitch and moan about something my wife, is doing when I'm doing the same thing, right? Erin never cleans up after herself. Is that true? No. She cleans up all the time. do I always clean up after myself? Ugh, crap. The clothes are on the floor right now. And you start looking at these things, men, and you start realizing, wait a minute, maybe I should clean my side of the street first. That's the only thing I can affect. I can't change Erin. As much as I've tried in the past, I can't change Erin, and she can't change me. But one of the things that's worked really well for our marriage is we both have worked on changing ourselves by first looking inward.
Yeah.
And we're at a stage where we can ask for feedback from each other. And, how am I experiencing you? How are you experiencing me? And do that. And most people listening to this, you're not at that stage, right? You get to own your side. And I've seen marriages go from divorce papers to turning around the first week of the activation method. And it's because the man just shows up. He sees it. Oh, he realizes what's going on, starts doing his ARS, his Alpha Rise and Shine. And his wife goes, oh, you've invested money and time into a program to better our marriage? Thank you.
Thank you.
Here you are.
Yes.
And then she starts trusting again because he's put his money and his time where his mouth is and is doing the work. And he has to do the actions, right?
Yeah.
Continuously doing the actions, which is a big difference. So we feel about, when I think about this in this comment, and to this man's credit that was at the boardroom, he crushed it, right? The fact that he was willing to go there, I mean, that's part of the inner circle, right? He saw his insights and was willing to look at his side of the street and realize, wait a minute, as nice and as fun as it is to blame somebody else, I get to do my stuff first.
Yeah. And it gives you so much freedom when you actually do that. Because it's like if you played a role in creating the dynamic, which you did, you are also in a place of power to like look at what you're doing, take responsibility, and you can also change it and be like, you know what, this is actually the opposite of what I want to experience inside of my marriage.
I want to buy you a gift. Look, if your marriage is struggling, and let's be real, every marriage struggles at some point, but yours is struggling where you've lost that love, admiration, respect, I want to help you. I want to buy you a copy of the book that I wrote, A Man's Guide on How to Save Your Marriage Without Talking About It. In here, I've distilled over 8 years of programs that we've developed at TPM to help men just like you save their marriages without talking about it. There's no fluff, no BS. It's an action plan that you can start using today to actually save your marriage and bring that love and respect back into your family, back into your house. You deserve it. Look, all I ask is you pay the postage, you pay the shipping, I'll buy the book for you. That way you can take massive action today. Click the link or find it in the bio and get your copy now.
And like taking ownership and like, what do you actually want in your marriage? And what do you actually have to do to create that? And it's powerful when you also like stop outsourcing your happiness and to your partner and, blaming your partner for whatever isn't working in your own life and standing on your own 2 feet within that and coming to a place where you're like, I'm actually responsible for myself inside of this marriage and my marriage will be better when I am fully responsible for me as an individual so that I can be a partner.
Yeah. 100%. And what's the worst case scenario? You end up being a better person. That's literally the worst case scenario is you end up being a better person.
Yeah.
Your partner can leave you. These are all things you can't control. You can only control our own actions. And the worst case scenario is you become better. That's worse. Best case scenario is you become better and you and your partner thrive, right? And she raises up, or your partner in your case, they raise up and you guys meet each other and continue to grow together.
Yeah. And we've said it before. You've said it. I've said it. We've said it on this podcast. Some of the strongest marriages that we know, ours included, have gone through some of the darkest times because they had to learn how to heal and repair and grow together instead of apart or be adversarial the way you and I used to be, or try and control each other the way you and I used to be, and all the things that are fear-based. Very fear-based. And learn how to emotionally and relationally mature so that we could be the type of partners that we're proud of. Right?
100%. Yeah. I mean, you probably don't know I do this, but most people where we live don't have no clue what I do. Right? And I don't go around telling people what I do. And if they ask, I'll give them some kind of vague statement. But also, we happen to live in a community where people don't care what you do for work. It's a great community. But I'll be at a barbecue or something, and a guy will make a comment about his wife or something, and and I'll just say something like, "Yeah, marriages are easy, huh?" And all the guys look up like in shock, like that. Wait a minute, and am I the only one? I'm not the only one has a difficult marriage, because men don't talk about it at all. Like zero. No guy goes to another guy and goes, yeah, my marriage is just, it's tough right now. Never happens in the history of men. I don't think, maybe after some drinks, but usually guys will bitch about their wives though. Oh, they'll put their wives down or make fun of, which is obviously very toxic and a horrible thing to do. And it happens.
Sure.
A lot. And so it's the idea of cleaning up your side of the street. So if you're finding your wife withdrawn and pulling away, the first place to check is the trust and safety area. Yeah.
Definitely.
And the way I look at it, this worked for me sometimes when we were going through our dark times. Because if you were pulling away, it would just piss me off more. And then
100%.
And then resentment would happen.
Yeah.
And what worked for me were two things. And one of the ones I teach the guys both of these, but is when I see you hurting and I get angry, I picture the little girl inside of you. So you as a little girl. And I think about, okay, I love this woman. I don't ever want to see her hurt. Okay. Because it's a lot of pride, right? That comes into it. And the story I made is when you would pull away or we were going through a hard time, I wasn't good enough. Right. And that messed with my significance, right? And
big time.
Messed with my ego and who I thought of myself as to be as a man and a husband and all those other things. Kind of why does everybody else think I'm awesome and you don't? Like something wrong with you. And then when I started looking at my own side of the street and taking responsibility for you withdrawing, not for your feelings, but my actions, kind of like this gentleman did on the boardroom I described, where he said, okay, here are 4 ways that I'm not showing up. All of a sudden you get optics. And just like in business, I need optics to make decisions in marketing and sales and operations, legal, finance. I need optics. Otherwise, it's like pen the tail on the donkey, right? I'm blindfolded and I'm just hoping I hit the target. But when I take care of myself and started doing my own work, irregardless of what you did or regardless of what you did, that's when things started to shift, and that's the big difference. This is where men don't realize that by them doing the work, this goes back to the previous podcast of leading, their woman sees them doing the work and she is going to want to step up too, because she doesn't want to get left behind and she wants to be included. And her man becomes more attractive. I've asked you this question before many times on this show. Think about all the women you've worked with and your girlfriends. What percentage of those women find a man who's doing personal development attractive?
100%.
How much?
100%.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. That's 100%. Guys, but most guys will do it in the quiet, the dark. Like most guys are listening to this at the gym, out for a walk, or in their car. Yeah,
bring her into it. And like it's like for whatever reason, you're kind of doing it in secret or you're waiting until things are absolutely rock bottom. Like you don't have to wait till the rock bottom. Actually don't. You'll actually be able to heal, grow, and move forward a lot more quickly without that. But share it with her. We want to know what's going on in our man's world. We want to hear about it. We want to know what you're learning, your insights about yourself. We want to know what's going on in your world. Big time.
Yeah. So we at TPM have programs that are as much as $250,000 a year, all the way down to free. And the whole gamut, depending on where a man wants to fit in. A lot of men, if they can, they run whatever program they're in through their business. As we actually are a business organization, so they do it. I'm not a tax advisor, guys, so don't take my word for it. I'm just telling you what other guys do. Don't let the IRS call me. They'll do that. But they won't tell their wives. And I had one guy tell me he made a significant investment, turned his marriage around. He's been within the movement. We call it TPM the movement, within the movement for several years. And we were just chit-chatting, and one guy goes, well, you didn't tell your wife when you joined? And he joined with one-on-one coaching to start with, which is a significant investment in time and money. And he goes, no, I just figured divorce is going to cost a lot more money. I'm going to lose that money anyway. I'm just going to push the chips all in. And when he did that, and his wife did find out, she wasn't mad. She was excited. She was excited that he went all in on them. Wasn't buying a new car. He wasn't buying the vacation, trying to save things. Because a lot of guys will do that. Like, oh, let me take my wife on this vacation. Then she'll be happy. And that may work for a week. or buy her a ring or buy her jewelry or buy her presents, you know. And those are good things, right? Like we all like gifts. I like gifts. You like gifts.
Yeah, not to solve things though.
Not to solve things. That's exactly what it is. You
It's
just
like a
put it-
baby's not going to save your marriage.
Yeah, that's another common one, right? Let's
It's
have a
definitely
baby.
not.
That'll help.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And it's just making that investment in yourself, right? That's the key of really putting. I look at like poker chips, like push all your chips to the center of the table. Say, I'm all in on this marriage. I'm all in on this relationship, not 1 foot out, 1 foot in. I certainly was 1 foot out, 1 foot in at one time in our relationship.
So was I. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a good place to be.
No.
Doesn't feel good on either side.
And when you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, another person said to this guy, you must have so much splinters on the ass, but on your ass because you've been sitting on the fence for so long. You've been riding the fence. I got to give this guy so much credit. So he committed. We're going to Japan. So in Japan, we're doing this is in February. So I'll be co-leading this. It'll be grounded masculine leadership. So we'll do epic adventures with epic guys, but the growth component is going to be grounded masculine leadership. And so this man committed to every single day showing up as his best version for himself, first and foremost, and for his wife after that. And so that ability to take that feedback and that coaching and then run with it, phenomenal.
I find that men are actually really good at that.
Yeah.
You guys, when you get some feedback and insight and optics, as you call it, you guys really are really good at taking action to create a different result or whatever you need to do to, you love seeing your woman happy and connected.
We do.
Yeah.
Well, and I love you, so I want you to be happy. I want you to have the best of everything. Selfishly, I get a better house.
Totally.
I get a better lover.
Yeah.
Right. I also makes me feel like I'm more of a man that's providing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm providing that happiness for kind of that. We joke around like, I did that, you know. You say good movie, good pick on the movie. I'm like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And as men, we like that I did that.
Yeah.
Like we think when I plan date night and it's fun, I did that. When I let you plan date night and it's fun, I did that.
Let's try.
Well, that's my own internal.
Yeah.
I'm working on me. So it makes it fun. So closing out, what's going on in a woman's heart and her head when she's pulling away and then the man shuts down
She's
too?
scared.
She's scared.
She's scared. She doesn't feel safe.
And then the man shuts down because he's resentful,
Way more scared.
way more scared.
Way more or less safe. And also like, I can't trust him.
Yeah. So how much sex are they having in that
None.
relationship? Yeah. None is right. And if they are, it's
Real bad.
real bad. And she's doing it because she feels she has to. I always tell the guys, guys say, oh yeah, my wife's not interested in sex. I go, oh, she's just not interested in sex with you. Unfortunately, I hate to tell you, bud, it's not that she's not interested in sex. It's just not with you, at least right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you get to change that around. So we'll go back and forth. What's one thing a guy could do right now? He's like, shit, they're talking about my wife. She's scared. Oh, I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
What's one thing he can do?
The first thing that came to me, acknowledge it. Feel like, I know you're scared. I know that whatever she's experienced, I said I was going to do this and I didn't do it. Or whatever the thing is, just acknowledge it and clean it up. And by you bringing it up, it will actually help just connect you guys and it will dissipate it. By you ignoring it, will create like a moat between you guys. Like bring up whatever the thing is and acknowledge, be like, I know this has caused you hurt, or I know this makes you feel unsafe. Like, you can trust me. I'm safe. I'm here. And I'm working on this, or whatever the thing is. Own it, acknowledge it, talk about it, communicate about it.
Love it. Call the elephant out in the room.
Yeah.
You both know it's there.
Yeah.
Might as well bring it up.
Yeah.
Agree.
And it's really attractive when you're the one that bring it up.
Yeah.
If it's kind of, yes, it just is.
The second, I'll give one more, and then because there's so many to your point. The second is do what this gentleman did. I thought he was this guy's super intelligent, just super insightful. Love this man. Is what are 4 ways, or you could do 5, what are 4 ways that you are not showing up for your partner, for your wife? And then flip them. So if she walks into your office and you don't look up and just keep working on the computer and get annoyed,
Yep.
try when she walks in the office, just at least stopping typing, look up and greet her.
Yep.
That could be one thing. Just 4 simple things or 4 ways you're not showing up, and just reverse those 4.
Yeah. And on that note, it's like, it is the simple things that
Yep.
make the big difference. Yeah, we all love a great vacation, me included. I love travel. And it's the simple daily things that provide the foundation. And, research shows if you're learning a new skill or working on flipping something around that you've been doing and you're like, ugh, I know that's not good, but just used to doing it. It only takes about 55 to 60 days if you're really focusing on a skill to really ingrain it in you and your system. It's not that long, guys. If you're actually wanting to turn something around or create a better marriage, like that's nothing.
That's why this guy's doing it. But we do this for all the guys. It's till the next event, which will be Japan in February, right? And so he's going to put not his head down. I don't want to say that, but
He's open his heart and do something different.
There you go. Well said. Well said. I know you're going to our kids' school.
Yes,
You're
I
going to go mom it out.
Yep.
And take care of the family. Thanks for coming. As always, it's awesome to spend this time and share the space with you. And thanks for what you're doing for all the wives and the women out there in the world.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Gentlemen, what I want you to do and take from this particular episode and what Erin has shared with you today is figure out if your wife is distant, it's not that she's some cold-hearted or anything else. She's not. She's scared. And I picture her as this 5-year-old scared girl. And I know you guys so well because I'm the same way. If you saw a 5-year-old little girl scared, you would do whatever you could to protect her and to make her feel comfortable. Do the same with your wife. But the difference is it's about you showing up. Even if you're scared, because I know some of you guys are, show up anyway. Figure out those 4 things, 4 reasons you're not showing up or 4 ways, and then flip them. And like Erin said, 60 days is not a long time, guys. 60 days is not a long time. See if you can be consistent with those. And if you're brave, have the conversation with your partner. Have your conversation with your wife and say, hey, look, I realize that you're hurting and scared, and I'm going to do everything I can to change that. Will you walk this path with me? And if she says yes, that's freaking fantastic. It's going to use another F word there. But guys, just walk the path. I want this for you so badly, gentlemen. That's why I show up and do these shows for you guys. We've done over 1,000 episodes. If you're interested in TPM, check out our programs. They are methodologies, proven methodologies that take you step by step through the ways that you can come back to your wife and back to yourself, man. And that's really what it's all about. You deserve more than average. We'll see you next time on the TPM Show.